From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Hey, I want to remind you there's a great segment called Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Go to weathernorcal.com or from the free Weather NorCal app, click on Animal Family. From there, you'll be able to click on Wonderful World of Animals and you can watch all of the awesome episodes. It's so much fun. Be sure to check it out at weathernorcal.com or from the free Weather NorCal app. All right, let's get to your forecast. We've got quite a bit to talk about. Let's start off by talking about the heat. It's going to be extended for a while without much relief at night. Winds are picking up. It's going to be hot. It's going to be dry, which means elevated fire danger over the next few days. And this heat wave, it will most likely extend well into next week. So we look at our neighborhood forecast. Take a look at tomorrow. We're already up to 100 degrees for parts of the valley, over 100 degrees for some of us in the higher elevations. And I do expect upper 80s, even some mid 90s by the time you get to Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains, upper 60s for the North Coast. All right, so let's start with the fire weather alerts, or the red flag warning. Now this will take effect for tonight, about 11 o'clock to be exact, through Wednesday night. Why? Because we've got the winds, and you've got the low relative humidity, not to mention the heat as well. So this is something we need to watch here very closely. And on another resource, looks at the fire potential. The oranges are indicating the W, indicating the winds. But quite honestly, we should probably see an H in there as well, indicate hot and dry. So it's going to be windy, hot, and dry for your Tuesday and for your Wednesday for the valley. Now we take a look at the winds and I'll show you what we got going on. As we go into tomorrow morning, gusty winds for the valley, surrounding foothills, some of those mountain peaks and some of those canyons as well. That's where we're seeing some of the strongest winds. You're seeing some spots where we've got some oranges and reds. That's getting upwards of 40 miles per hour. Now we still got those breezy north winds for the coast. Not very strong winds to start off the day in the mountains, but by the afternoon you can see it gets a little bit more breezy. Still those gusty winds for the valley and breezy along the coast as well. That's tomorrow afternoon. Wednesday morning, same situation with the winds for the valley and the surrounding foothills. Calm winds in the mountains, breezy north winds here for the coast. We go into Wednesday afternoon, a little more breezy, but not as bad on Wednesday. In fact, what you'll notice here, the wind's not as strong for your Wednesday because we're going to start to see the winds begin to die down, especially by Wednesday night and into Thursday, which is when the red flag warning expires. But look at the humidity. Now, one of the things I've been talking about over the last few weeks is it started off with the driest conditions in the valley for a while. That eventually the drier conditions worked their way into the eastern mountains and even to the north. Still some decent humidity, though, is what we've seen over the last several months in Trinity County. But now, look at Trinity County. Trinity County is beginning to get in on part of these drier conditions. In fact, especially Wednesday, we're down about 10%. Single digits for the valley, and not to mention the higher elevations. So when we combine the heat, when we combine the winds and the humidity, this is when we look at the extreme fire danger. This is the highest fire danger I've seen in the valley since the season started. Now notice in the mountains, it's mainly greens and yellows indicating low to moderate fire danger. But take a look at Wednesday. Once again, we're in the extreme category for the valley. Yellows for the north and east, but look at Siskiyou County out in Shasta Valley and even southern portions of Trinity County. You're getting those oranges indicating that high fire danger making its way here by Wednesday afternoon. Okay, we switch gears, we talk about the heat. We have an excessive heat warning for tomorrow through Saturday, excessive heat warning for Trinity County, northern Humboldt County for Wednesday through Saturday. Same area in Trinity County, a heat advisory through Wednesday, southern Humboldt County, a heat advisory. We have an excessive heat watch for Siskiyou County and Modoc County for Thursday through Saturday. Again, keep in mind these advisories, these watches, these warnings are all issued by the National Weather Service. And then we look at these heat alerts, it affects all the way from southern Oregon all the way down to Southern California. And I'm expecting as the heat expands and builds over our region, these excessive watches and warnings will make their way into Northern Oregon and even Washington as well. So again, we take a look at the ridge of high pressure. This is the dome of heat. This is what will be expanding in our region over the next few days. But also, over the next few days, the positioning of this high will have that rotation around that high, giving us our classic hot, dry, and windy setup, which gives us the high fire danger. You see how we got those winds, the upper level winds right on top of us? That translates to gusty winds, especially in the valley, as we go into Tuesday and even for your Wednesday. Once this area of high pressure starts to move on top of us, which is when the temperatures will be their hottest, the winds start to die down. So Thursday, Friday, the temperatures begin to increase. We go into Saturday when I expect the peak of this heat wave. That dome of heat will be right on top of us. And then by the time we get into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday of next week, look what happens. This heat is diving down to the south and east, thanks to this area of low pressure here riding up and over that ridge of high pressure, helping to push that heat down to the south and east. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be cool by any stretch of the imagination. It's still going to be rather hot. Temperatures most likely getting into possibly still 110 degrees or higher for parts of the valley, even into Wednesday of next week. In fact, we take a look at the 10-day trend. By the time we get to 110 degrees tomorrow, I think we're going to be hard-pressed to drop below that through at least the weekend. We'll be pushing that by Monday, Tuesday of next week. Now, what's interesting is this. If we were to go off of this forecast alone, count how many days we're at 110 degrees plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 straight days based on the forecast of 110 plus degree temperatures. Now, the thing is, when you start getting into that borderline here, even for tomorrow, what we have a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of 110 plus degree temperatures. But I think on either end of that, we can still see 110. Now, why am I pointing that out? Because look at the records. The highest number of consecutive days of 100 plus 10 degree temperatures, 110 plus degree temperatures, was in 1978 between August 5th and August 10th. 6 straight days. Nothing beyond that. In 1988, July 17th through July 22nd, 6 straight days. Second below that is 1920 and several other years where we saw 5 straight days of 110 plus degree temperatures, August 12th to August 16th. So you get the idea. We are possibly going to not only meet that record of 6 days, we could possibly break that record as we go into the rest of this week and into the weekend. Let's talk about the high temperatures and breaking any records at least through the 4th of July. I don't expect we're going to break any records for Redding over the next 3 days. For Mount Shasta, eventually by the 4th of July, we could break the record by a few degrees, but most likely nowhere near it. Tomorrow, we could be close on Wednesday. We'll see. Taking a look at Susanville, I don't think we're going to break any records. Close on Wednesday, could break that record by 1 degree by the 4th of July. Record highs for the coast, I don't think we're going to break any records. In fact, I don't think we're even going to get close. The forecast high is 67 for tomorrow, and there you can see 73 on Wednesday. The record is 76. And then, of course, that's the case here going into Thursday. This is coming in from the National Weather Service, your heat risk. Now, for tomorrow, it's all reds. That's putting us in that major category. What that means is it affects anyone without proper cooling and or hydration. We take you into your Wednesday. Now we're getting purples. This is the first time this year we've seen such a broad range of extreme heat over Northern California. Same type of situation, just at a higher category, affecting anyone without proper cooling and or hydration. Now, we're going to extend this all the way into Thursday. We take you into your Friday, still a lot of that extreme heat on the map. We take you into Saturday, that doesn't change. That's the peak of the heat wave. On Sunday, we're beginning to see some of the purples fade away. Now this is when that ridge of high pressure starts to move back down towards south and east. It will probably be looking at more in the way of moderate to major heat by the time we go into early to the middle of next week. Okay, here's a look at your wave heights. As we take a look at your Tuesday, they actually start to increase. We take you into your Wednesday, they're not going to change much. In fact, they may even increase even more for your Wednesday. So your marine forecast for your Tuesday, north winds at 25 to 30 knots. There's a small correct advisory here for tomorrow. Okay, let's take a look at our forecast for tonight. Here's the other factor. One of the reasons why the heat is and can be dangerous, especially for those who don't have proper cooling or hydration. Temperatures are only dropping down into the mid-70s. We don't expect to get much cooler than that. Some areas may be in the upper 70s. Now we still have some cooling in the mountains, and that is going to help significantly. So when we look at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, I think many of the areas like Hayfork, Lewiston, Weaverville, Douglas City, all over 100 degrees. But even places like Ruth, 99, Mad River, 92 degrees. It's pretty hot, all right, for Trinity County. We take it to the north coast. We're getting the low 70s, no record breakers, but it is getting warm and close to some of those records. 67 degrees for a high on Tuesday in Eureka, Blue Lake about 77. Now we take it up to the north, Smith River about 82, 71 for Crescent City. Those inland areas, it's warming up too. Look at that, 104 in Willow Creek. We could even get up to 110 degrees by Saturday for some of those inland areas. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, we're in the 90s, although places like Weed about 89, 94 for McLeod, mid-80s for Doris, McDowell, and Tennant. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We could touch that 90-degree mark for places like Alturas, for example. We take a look at your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Those temperatures 80s, 90s, even some triple digits. 101 for Paradise, 100 in Quincy, Greenville about 99. Look at Shingletown, 97. Much cooler though, but still hot. Even in Viola, the high of 89 degrees. Your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Well, there it is. Temperatures approaching 110 degrees for Corning, Los Molinos, southward, 107 Biggs, Chico, about 109 degrees. Let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast to the north. Redding 110, Anderson 110, Palisadro maybe even 111, 109 out in Bella Vista, 105 for Lakehead. You get the idea. It's hot. And look at the temperatures for the next 7 days. Well over 100 degrees for the next 7 days, if not longer. Looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, 110 degrees or higher, most likely for tomorrow through early next week.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.